Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm really excited to be playing a game called Going Medieval. This has been out for a little while on early access in Steam. It's been out in fact for about 2 years, but I've been putting off playing it because sometimes you just want to wait until they're a bit more fleshed out, until developers have had a bit more time to add through content, and I think we're kind of at that point now. I've played a little bit of it now. I'm really excited to show you in the video kind of how it's looking, what you can do, how it all plays. So let's get going. We're going to start a brand new game. We'll go standard, normal, straight down the line. So basically, you can build castles. You know, that's the cool thing. You start off building a sort of little medieval village, and then you build it up and up and up. You know how this kind of drill works with things like RimWorld, Dwarf Fortress, and so on. You've got your starting setup, all that kind of thing. You can play around with this. You can play Lone Wolf mode, where you just have one settler, which is actually really kind of fun. You start off in winter, but it does take a long time to progress through. So we're not going to do that today. We're going to start off, I think maybe on a hillside. I like our banner. What should we call ourselves? Butt-Yate. Sure. Okay. Welcome to the village of Butt-Yate. Okay, map size medium. Okay, that's looking okay. We've just got we're a little bit low on construction, maybe. Oh, okay. Just want to make sure kind of all the main bases are covered. So we'll just... Okay, you know what, sure. We're not going to need tailoring straight away. We'll have some new people coming to the village. So let's see who we've got. We've got Elvina, who looks like Elvis's sister, who is an artful army cook. Cool. Johanna, who is a Yorkist innkeep, and Gerard, who is a willful carter. Sure. So there's a kind of little bit of flavour text here before you go in about what's going on. People are all sort of scattered around the country. There's lots of banditry and brigands coming out to threaten people, and you're trying to start a new life somewhere new. And here we go. We are in. What we are going to need first of all is some buildings. We're going to need one for a stockpile to store our resources. Don't need to be huge. So we'll just do something a bit like that, maybe. And yeah, I mean, if you've played any of those other kind of games I mentioned, you understand how all this works. It's very, very similar. But the big difference with this one is that it is multi-layered. Like an onion or an ogre, it has layers. So you can scroll up and down through them, just like in Dwarf Fortress, and you can see you can go down underground, which we will need to do later on, and you can also build upwards. You can build multi-story buildings going upwards. You can build towers, you can build sort of giant stone keeps later down the line. All that kind of stuff is available. But for now, we're just trying to get the sort of basic setup done. So we're just gonna... Oh, I'll tell you what we need to do, actually. We just start cutting down some trees. We can actually start building, which would be good, while we're laying out where we want things to go. We're not going to bother about individual rooms at the moment. We just want people to have somewhere they can go to sleep tonight. Sure, there we go. We're going to want wooden floors in these buildings. So let's get that like so. And we're going to want a roof up on here. Great. So there we go. This will be the kind of little starting up area. What have we got? We've got a cat, we've got a goat, and we've got another goat. We're going to need some hay for making the roofs. So let's just see what we can harvest. There's a bit about there. That might do enough. I don't know. We'll find out. There's some berries over there. Great, and then we can just kind of leave that to run. So let's take a look at who we've got. Elvina, what are you up to? So as you can see, she's coming down and getting some hay now. Oh. It's really satisfying watching the buildings go up. There's so many nice little touches you can do as well to sort of tweak how your buildings look, and I'll show you that in a moment once we've actually got some bits built. But I think it's really nice to be able to just customize the look of your base a bit. I'd love it if they added some more, in fact, of those kind of touches, because I tried doing some clay buildings. They look okay, but they're not quite how I'd like them to be. And I think if you could just choose colours maybe on the clay, yeah, cause it's kind of this kind of yellowy colour naturally. But I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't sort of paint them or make them look a bit prettier. Now, one thing we do need to do is equip some weapons. Unfortunately, we've got no one who is any good. No, he can't even use that. So do we have another? Yeah, we've got a short bow. Can he use that? He can use that. Or she can. Sorry. Then melee 11, melee 15. So probably it's 5 DPS. Yeah, probably the short sword for you and the spear for you. It's just, if I do this now, I won't forget about it later. And it means people will actually be equipped, because there is combat in this game as well. And I think from what I can tell, there's quite a lot of it later on in the game. You get more and more kind of interactions with bandit camps and other kingdoms and all that kind of stuff. You get great sieges coming to attack you. Oh, I can't wait to see all that kind of stuff. But at the moment we're just trying to get our own little slice of things up and going. So as I say, this building over here is going to end up being the stockpile. For the time being, everything's just going to be dumped on the floor in there once we've got the wooden floor down. But later on, what we'll be doing is going through, you can see up there, there's a research tab. It's greyed out at the moment. We'll be able to add things like shelves in there, which will stop things decaying so fast. We'll need to think about, because we're in spring now, we need to think about getting some crops growing. So I think maybe kind of over here, do we reckon? Sure, why not? Let's get some space clear. We'll just cut all that down. And we'll find out as well what crops we have. But we can't do that yet because we need a research bench. And kind of as soon as this building is up and going, we'll be able to get one put in there. So much like in RimWorld, all those kind of things. I keep mentioning other games, but this is a fantastic game in its own right. It's just obviously heavily inspired by. Much like in those other games, you've got priority lists, so you can say what you want people to do or what you want them to prioritize doing. You can also give direct instructions. So let's say I want Elvina here to move the packaged meals. I can go over and prioritize hauling that to the stockpile once we've got one. So there's a number of jobs I'm not going to prioritize her slaughtering the cat, because I'd rather she didn't. At least not yet, until we get the black altar set up. That's a joke, Hallie. We're not going to sacrifice you. Or are we? No, we're not. So we'll get these buildings done. And then we need to think about what's next. I think the next job is going to be... There's going to be two jobs. We're going to want to get these goats in a pen. Maybe kind of over here somewhere, near the buildings. And we're going to want to get the research bench set up. And then during spring, the first thing we're going to want to do is try and make a beeline towards getting agriculture. So we can start actually growing crops, we can start preparing food for the winter, all that kind of stuff. We've got 3 people at the moment, more people will join. So as the game plays through, you get interactions, you get little pop-ups with events in a sort of roguelike-y kind of fashion, and you've got choices about how to interact, and those kind of events sometimes will give you new settlers, new people coming to join you for a variety of reasons who you can say yes or no to. You can also kick people out if you want. There's a little buttons here. Banish is one. Or attack, interestingly. And then draft, which you use when you want someone to follow your direct instructions. So if you're being attacked, is usually the reason you want to draft them. You can there's a huge amount of information you can go into. You can see what they're carrying, look in detail at their skills and what those do and where they get them from. Their attributes. I mean, you could really go to town on all this if you want to. You can see their health. You can also see what their their social relations are like. So, for example, with Elvina, he's got a good relationship with Elvina, largely because they settle together, so everyone gets a sort of a buff to that. But also because she did some hilariously poor construction, and he obviously enjoyed watching that happen. Now, I think I've been talking and I've neglected to make sure there's enough wood to actually finish the construction. Oh, don't want that one. It's down in the valley. So hopefully now I've actually earmarked them all, because it is already 5 o'clock. You can choose when people go to bed, but by default, they go to bed about 11 o'clock and get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, which seems to work okay. You can obviously make the working day longer if you really need things to get done, or you could, I suppose, make it shorter if you just want to give people a kind of laid back, easygoing time. But for now, that's fine. They can keep working. But I do want to get this building done, because without this building, they're going to have nowhere to sleep. In fact, you know what? I think we will just go in. We'll stick down a torch, like so. And we're also just going to stick down some sleeping spots just along there. We're going to do 4. And the reason I'm doing that is that if, by any chance, we get more settlers arriving, if we get a new arrival, it's really good to have that just ready to go, so we're not scrambling at the last minute trying to build a sleeping spot when there may be a load of other stuff going on. So I always like to just keep a little bit ahead of the curve, if I can. And while I think of it as well, we will need to put down the shrine so people can go and pray. What we are going to need is the research table. Now, how am I going to fit that in? Because I don't think I've actually left enough. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. It's not ideal, but we can move this after. It's another nice little thing. Once you place something, there we go, you can just relocate. So you don't have to demolish it and build a new one. You can just relocate it. People will pick it up, move it across. And that's cool. So in terms of the long-term plan, well, I think we're certainly looking to build some sort of giant uber fortress. So let's have a look at the map and see what the location's like. I mean, that's quite a nice sort of commanding spot. Or actually, maybe there's kind of along here. You can do a certain amount of terraforming and removing soil and rock and placing new stuff in other areas. So that would be possible. But obviously, if you've got an area already. Now that, for example, looks quite exciting, doesn't it? That's a nice big hill. Maybe if we just sort of flattened out the top of that and get a few ramps coming up and some walls going around, maybe that could be a good area to move towards. For now, though, all we want to do, that's future scope, along with the cathedrals and enormous taverns and all that kind of thing. For now, what we're trying to do is just get our little homely, exhausted... Yeah, alright, okay guys, you'll be able to sleep in a minute. Just work a bit harder first, and then sleep will come. I promise. We just want to get our little homely home base set up and feeling cozy and comfy. And then hopefully people will be able to finish those roofs off. It looks like there's enough wood coming through with these trees, so we can get the last of the walls up. And now, good point, I can show you how this works. So as you can see at the moment, we've got all of these tree trunks laid kind of upright. But you might not want that. You might want to do something a bit different. So what you can do is just select these block by block. Look at that. Look at that. And you can also do end on if you want that sort of effect somewhere. But for now, I think that's... And just instantly it makes it look a bit more interesting, doesn't it? So we can do the same here. Just... Oh. Maybe we can't. Okay, interesting. So presumably because it's kind of the ends of the building. We can't do that there, but we can along the side. So let's just shift click along there. There we go. You can also on the ends here, you can do all kinds of stuff with the roofs. So you can make them different shapes like that, which we might do actually on the storage barn. Or you can change the sort of timber that's in use if you wanted to match in with different walls below, all that kind of thing. It's great. I really like those kind of touches. And I think we might even, if we can, just nip up here, just to make things look a little bit more interesting. There, just do that. And then you see suddenly you've got a sort of visual difference between the two buildings, which, yeah, I just think is a really nice feature on this. I think I'm going to do the same down this wall as well. Just tweak that. So, oh. Okay, I wonder what the rule is on... I think it's just kind of alignment. But that's okay. There we go. We can sort of do like that. Oh. And there we are. It is the morning. The early morning sun is coming through. We've gone all through the night. And it's day 2 of spring. Seasons last, I think, is it 12 days? Yeah, 12 days. 12 days. So you have a full season cycle. Winter's really nice with the snow everywhere, and it looks really quite cool. There's some nice environmental effects actually. All the rain falling and stuff can feel really quite atmospheric. There we are. Floor's going down. And have we got a research bench yet? No, but it's being built. Okay, waiting for settler to build. Fantastic. Right, we need to get our stockpile up and going. Now we actually have a building. There we are. Just want a default stockpile in there. And then one of the most important bits, because otherwise nothing ever gets hauled. Just find someone who is a bit rubbish at everything. Or a bit rubbish at everything at the moment. So, not our construction. Could be our growing, harvesting, mining. Yeah. Just going to bump that up. And what that will mean is that Gerard now will prioritise hauling over everything else, and he'll hopefully clear all this stuff up because things decay. You can see, so the cabbages there, for example, they're going to decompose in just under 5 days and rot in just under 4 days. So we need to get all these things put away. It's not going to stop them decomposing altogether, because at the moment they're just sitting on the floor, which means things still decompose, but it will substantially slow it down compared to sitting out in the rain. So here we go, research bench. Now the research bench unlocks all this good stuff. We can straight away unlock wooden beams, because we come with 15 books kind of built in, which we're going to do. We can also apparently unlock our agriculture straight away. So let's do that. Brilliant. We are going to just start producing books right now. Start producing chronicles. And they're the kind of currency for research unlocks, as you see. But as we have agriculture straight away, that means we can start planting straight away. So let's get a cabbage field down. Don't want it to be huge. Let's go. I mean, how many we've got? Okay, we've got 32 seeds. So let's do. Yeah, let's do it like that. And then along here we can choose other field types. It might be worth just putting down a red currant plot as well, because that'll make it really nice and easy to harvest those. Because obviously the season cycle works, so some things are in season at some times of year and all that sort of thing. So it's useful having the things like the mushrooms and the red currants, because they're available, as far as I'm aware, all year round. Which is great. But that's just reminded me, in terms of processing them, we also need to cook them. And to cook them, we're going to need a campfire. And I think just about there is a nice spot. We can get a few little stools. No idea if they're facing the right way, but hopefully they are. And then people can just come and sit here and have a nice little chat by the campfire. Great. Yeah, as you can see, this stuff needs putting away. Hopefully someone will be doing that. Did you put that away? Oh yeah. So I was on the wrong level. Can be a bit fiddly with the level system. It's the only thing, but it's a really minor gripe because it's great that it's here. Okay. How are we getting on? The cabbage farmers are hard at work. Johanna and Elvina, hard at it in the fields. Gerard is lugging stuff about. Oh. And then I think the last bit we want to do for the moment, just to get things set up, we'll be putting up the... Yeah, we are going to put up the little pen if we can. Where should we have the goats? I think maybe the goats can go back here. So you will see when I put these down. What are you doing? Those don't meet up. Look at that gap. Ah, but wait. You will see. Gate like that, and then little wicker fence along here, and back along there. There we go. We don't need a huge amount of space. We will need a trough because we need some animal food in there. Here we go. So Johanna's going to come along and build us up a storm. Now, remember what I was saying about the gaps? Because the first time I saw this, I thought, oh, that's a bit rubbish. But look, you can change from straight to a corner piece and then rotate. Oh, it's so satisfying. I mean, it'd be kind of nice if it just clicked into position anyway. But it does give you more options, for customization. And last one. There we go. There is our little goat pen. Okay, this is up and going now. So we're going to start cooking until we have, let's say, a solid 20 meals. And we'll just try and keep it at a level of 20 meals. That should be a good kind of balance, I think. Getting resources for construction, just getting a load of sticks. We'll bring it back over. It's 5 o'clock on day 2. And there we go. We are in an enclosed area. And this is an animal pen for just goats. Okay, let's say sheep as well, if we get any sheep. There we go. And now hopefully someone will come and haul our goats back. See, he's just gonna shout at the sky for a minute. But no, there we go. He's got one of the goats in. And now he can go and get the other goat. That's been the first couple of days. We have successfully built our stockpile and our first little starter house, which I've just noticed doesn't have a door. Let's rectify that, shall we? There we go. Chuck a door in. Make our house a home. Our goats are tied up. Our crops are growing. Wow. Oh. It is really, really cute. It's just such a It's such a nice feeling game. You know, you can play it, so you can play it without combat. I personally quite like the combat. We'll get onto defenses and all that kind of stuff. You can see just at the moment we've got, all we've got at the moment is merlons, which are like the wooden spikes you have on top of walls, and stick traps. But you can unlock like loads and loads and loads more, wherever it is. Anyway, you know, we'll get to all that. We'll get to all that. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Next episode, hopefully, we're going to keep building on this. We might get some new people coming in. We'll hopefully get some research unlocked. We're going to move into summer, which means we're going to need to start digging the cellars and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I hope you've really enjoyed this, and thank you. And I will hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye.